Hello.
Hello, Mario.
Did you watch the debate?
Hello, Mario.
Hello. Have you watched the debate?
Biden was barely alive.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a sorry state of affairs.
It was sad. It was sad. It was like they're making fun of it, but he should never be running for president. He's not fit. It's clear.
But Trump didn't answer the questions he was asked. He just was obnoxious as always. I mean, I think I'm going to vote for myself. I'm not going to vote.
I don't think Biden is going to run. I think they're going to force him out.
I don't know. That's what Nikki Haley said tonight. But I don't know.
Biden had one job today. Well, why did he wanted the debate. They wanted to show that he was not a feeble person. He was terrible. He was very feeble.
When he walked in, he looked like he had some injection or something because he came in right.
Did you see how pale he was? Did you see how bad he looked?
Yeah,
It's Mario, it's all about optics.
yeah.
Kennedy against Nixon. Kennedy won. He was handsome. This is not about policy. It's just Trump looked good. He was tanned. He was in command. But Biden didn't know what he was talking about half the time. He didn't even know what subject he was in.
So who's going to run instead of Biden?
I have no idea.
Michelle Obama, maybe.
I have no idea.
Hope not.
Mario, every presidential debate since 1960 has been held in September or October. It's now June. They haven't even had the conventions yet.
Mm-hmm.
So why did the Biden want a debate now? Because he was told by the Democratic leadership, you cannot run. They see that Trump is beating Biden in every poll. So they told him to step down. So he said, give me one more chance. Let me show that I can stand up against him. Why else would, because in June, they still have time. The Democratic convention is not until September. By that time, they can have a new candidate. Well, why was it done in June?
I don't know. You're right.
I just explained it to you.
Yeah.
They've never done it so early. And I think they knew that who is fighting the political leadership of the Democrats. It's Biden. Biden wants to run. They don't want him to run.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who requested this debate, not Trump. Trump must have gotten inside information about Biden's true cognitive skill. Why did Trump go along with this? Because he knew what Biden is. Must be remember at the State of the Union, he was very good at the State of the Union. I was shocked. And they probably did give him medicine. There's been a whole controversy this week. Oh, are they going to give him medicine or not give him medicine?
But did you see him walk in? When he walked in, he said, this is another person. He walked straight. He didn't walk like an altacaque. And then all of a sudden, when he was at the podium, he just got deflated.
He looked terrible. Just in appearance, his eyes, he looked like a cadaver. I'm surprised that they're not going to, there's a law, the 25th Amendment to the Constitution, that you can remove a president if you don't think that he's fit.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be calls to remove him. He did not appear that he's in control of his faculties throughout the debate. He didn't. I think you're going to hear calls to that he should step down. He's the commander in chief.
Yeah, that's the other problem, Well, Bava Basra
Hashutafin sharatzu lasotz mechitza b'chatzir. You have two partners who own a joint courtyard, and they want to put a wall up between them. Boinin is a koisel be'emtza. You build it right in the middle. Makom shenagu bo livnos bigvil or begazis or begfisin or belevenim boinin. The building material of what they use for a wall is based on local custom. Some use bricks, some use cement, some use hakol keminig medina. Now, the width of the wall depends on the building material. Big veil. So one partner has to give noisen shloisha tfachim, has to give 3 tefachs of his share of the land, and the other partner noisen shloisha tfachim, because a gvil wall has to be 6 tfachim wide. Big gazis, zen noitin tfachim umechza, zen noitin tfachim mechza, 2.5 tefachs on each. Big fisin, zen noitin tfachim, zen noitin tfachim. You can build a wall only 4 tefach wide, and it'll stand. Bilavenim bricks, zenos and tefel mechza, zenot and tefel, 1.5 for a total of 3. Lefichach in nafal koisel, if the wall fell, hamokum vavonim shel shneim. They divide the exactly the area between the two and the stones. V'chein begina. The same if they're dividing a garden. Mokum shenogu ligdor, where they would put a fence. So we forced them to build a fence. Ava bebika, if you have a wheat field, so if it's not customary to put a fence around it, they don't have to do it. Ella imrotza, if one of the partners wants to put a fence and the other doesn't, he puts it all on his land. But oise chazis, you put a siman mibachutz facing his partner that he built the whole thing, and therefore if it collapses, he gets the area and the stones because he didn't share it with his partner. Now, im asu midashneim, if they built a fence dividing a garden in agreement between the two, again, so you build it in the middle. You make a simon on both sides. Then we know. Now, Savrua, when the people who learned this Mishnah learned it, they asked, "My mechitza guda," a fence. Kedetani mechitza sakerem, a wall or division between a vineyard and a wheat field, shenifritza, and it broke. And now it's a problem because it's klaya kerem. If you don't build a fence again, everything is going to be prohibited. Omer lo, the owner of the wheat field says to the owner of the vineyard, goideres mechitzosecha, fix your fence. If he did, v'chazor v'nifritza, if he fixed it and it broke again, omer lo gdor, he tells him again to do it. Nisyai shemen v'loy gadra, if the owner of the vineyard didn't do it, areza kidesh, it asers as a klaya kerem the wheat field. The chai v'achriyusa, the owner of the vineyard has to pay the owner of the wheat field the damages because he was the one that was responsible. Now, Taima Ratsu, our Mishnah said they both want a wall. Ha lo Ratsu, so if they didn't agree to build a wall, we don't force them to build a wall. Even though the partner doesn't want to see what's going on in the other part of the courtyard, Alma hezek re'iyah lav shmei hezek. Having to have a view that you don't like is not considered a damage. Ema mechitza is lukta. Maybe it's not a wall. It's just a dividing line. Like vatihi mechza sa'eda. Like a part of the group. Kivan sharatsu. So there, you make a division. If they want to do a division, you build a wall against their will. Alma, because Hezek Re'eh Shmei Hezek. Based on that, not having a bad view is a damage. Iachi, high sharatsu lasos. It shouldn't be sharatsu. Sharatsu lachzois maboile. They wanted to divide it. Elamai, what are you going to tell me? Guda? A fence? So why does it say born in Sakoisel? Born in Oisoy maboile. So Itan born in Oisoy, if it would have said Oisoy avamina b'mesizes ba'alma, maybe like a netting. Anything. Kamash Malan, that you have to build a real wall. Based on the minig amakom, whatever the minig in that city was, whatever building material they used. Then the Mishnah says, born in the Koisel Be'amsa. They built the wall in the middle. Now, Pshita, that's a davar pashut. Lo tzricha dekadim chad v'ratzia l'chavre. One of them convinced the other that they should build it. But he didn't really want to. Ma'od is saying, Motzi Omer lei ki yisratz l'cha ba'avira. I didn't want a wall that went all the way to the ground. I wanted a hanging wall. B'tashmishta lo yisratzai l'cha. I didn't agree to this. Mashmalan that they did agree. So freighting my hezek ria lav shmei hezek is having a bad view not considered a damage. I'll show you that it is. Toshma. Simin gina koisel koifin cholkin chalonis derav nach. It says v'chein begina. Mishnah said if they want to divide a garden, the same thing. So there is damage. That's why you're putting up a divider. Gina shiny kiderav abba. The amrav amrav unamrav asur ladam lamod b'stei chaver b'shashi yomenes b'kamayseah. A produce field needs to be fenced because somebody's going to give it ayin hara when the guy's standing looking at his stuff. I have a chen ktani. It's like a chutzer. So it's the v'chein is gvil v'gozis. It's the building material, but not the reason. Toshma. Koisel chutzer shenafal. The wall fell. Mechayv naso livnosad arba amis. You force them to build it at least arba amos high. Why? Because hezek re'iyah, shmai hezek. So that's not a proof, because shenafel shiny, when there was already a wall there, and then it fell, then there's a chiyuv. So udekarile my karile. So what's the kasha? So even if there was no wall, Seifa itzrichalei. The chiddush is in the Seifa. What was the Seifa? From arba amis and above, we don't force them. Because there's not a damage. There's not a view damage. Toshma. Koifen oisoi. Liv nois beishar v'delas l'chotzer. We force the partners of a chotzer to build a gate and a fence. Why? Because we want to avoid damage of people not having some privacy. So no, hezek derabim shiny. That's the public. So that's considered a hezek. Udiyachid lo, but having a private person looking in is not a damage. It is a damage. Toshma. It says ein chokin es a chotzer ad shebo arba amis lezeh arba amis lezeh. We don't divide a chotzer between two parties unless each one has at least arba amis. Meaning, if there is enough area, you do divide. Now, why? My love, the koisel to avoid a bad view. Lo, b'mesibas b'alma, even netting, and you can see through netting. So there's no raya from there. Toshma. If a person builds a wall opposite hachaloinos, opposite your neighbor's window, bein milmala, bein milmato, bein kinegdon, whether it's above the window, below the window, or even opposite the window, you have to move the wall at least arba amis away. The Tanya law, milmalon, you have to make it 4 amis higher than the window. Kadesh lo yotzitz v'yira. We don't want a person peering into the window. Milmatin, there has to be at least 4 amis difference. So they wouldn't stand on the wall to look inside. Kadesh lo yamad al kois lo v'yira. Mikenegdan, if you're building it opposite, kadesh lo yapil, you're going to reduce the light into the house. So the Gemara says, yes, hezek the bias shiny. A bias needs, there's privacy. We don't want people to look inside. But an open chotzer, it's an open area. Maybe we're not makpid for privacy. Toshma. Gag asamuch l'chotzer chaveru. You have a roof of one house that is opposite the chotzer of your neighbor. You got to build a fence around the roof, at least arba amis. Why? Otherwise, you can see into what's going on in the chotzer. So there's hezek. Where's the shiny awesome? The owner of the courtyard considered the owner of the roof tashmishi. People normally use a chotzer. You on your roof, it's not common to use a roof. It's only rare. We don't know when your people are going to go up and when they're going to go down. So for that reason, you need to build a wall. It's trichmina. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to learn at 4:30.
Okay.
Okay?
Go ahead.